Definitely knew when I saw this card blurry, I was like, I'm going to leave that. Something in the context of this is going to land with the hole in the soul. Now, I'm going to show you the whole cards. We're going to get into the channeled message. And I think this week for the karmic third party, it does sort of make sense because as we do move towards the 11th, we're going to have Pluto ingress back into Capricorn. And this is some old things. And I did say this year, don't be surprised if you hear from people, blasts from the past and situations that were eons ago. These are old cycles we're wrapping up. And sometimes, if it wasn't tied up in a very neat bow, it comes back to the table to be readdressed. I do feel the karmic third party this week in the mix is feeling very distorted, feeling very anxious. I'm noticing the hand on the heart. Spiritually, psychologically, there is nervousness that's going on. And I am seeing them really looking to the past, reflecting on romantic connections. This can be, so yes, even those masculines and feminines that are away from karmics, don't be surprised if these people come out of the woodworks. We are with Mercury direct. And next month we're having Venus go retrograde. So that will be very interesting to say the least. What I see here is there's reflection of past. I do think, again, they're looking back to this and the image and the feeling that they had of this direct connection. It's very nostalgic, but it's also almost like there's this lack of mentality and it's a distorted perception of what this physically is. Their guidance really is to rise above this, and they do want to resurrect this. This could be a lot of spying. This could be trying to, really resurrect this connection and bring it back from the dead metaphorically, and it's really keeping them up at night. Let's have a look. Like they're feeling over optimistic. Even they sort of feel if this can get back on track, everything will be fine. But there's something deeper really lingering here. They also feel that they could be nostalgic of a person, the one that got away, especially for those of them in a karmic relationship. Yeah. I also feel some are actually in a very codependent way, knowing that they haven't been happy for a long time, but still remaining in the status quo. They feel that they need to make a decision. They feel that they need to resurrect themselves out of this and to get things back on track. Now, getting things back on track could look like, okay, I need to go my separate way. But for some reason, I really get this instinctual feeling that this person is more going, look at the way the owl is traveling. It's like, no, it's keeping me up at night. Pluto tends to make us want to keep things the same, but Pluto doesn't want us to keep things the same. They can be secrets. It can be affairs, illicit affairs, a hidden psyche behind the reasons why we're doing these things. And I'm noticing the cards here. This person knows they need to liberate themselves out of the contract, but they're almost wanting to hold on to it. Even though they know they're not happy, they almost want to hold on to it because it's what they know. Now, they're getting the signs, they're getting the synchronicities, they're looking back, the writing was on the wall. This could even be the fact that they they pictured how this connection would be for them. But it was in the form of divine feminine and masculine. It was sort of like, that loved up energy. It's like the perfect, power couple, so to speak, which, physically doesn't really exist. A connection between two people can never be broken. This connection here, if they feel it's not where it should have been, it's almost like the connection was never cemented. They really, at this point in time, they're not trusting their instincts. They're looking back at it and they're thinking, I don't really trust myself. They're having trust issues within the connection. They're having trust issues with the belief inside themselves. There's jealousy and insecurity relating to the twin flames. They're even wondering, some of them may have thought at a time that they were a soulmate or a twin flame and this was a deep, deep connection. They're wanting to communicate, but they're if they are speaking to this individual and they're in the connection, they're not trusting anything that's being said, because what's being said, the person I do feel is being pretty straightforward with them. I feel they're being pretty darn direct, especially if there's no communication. It's via text message. Maybe it's very clean cut. It's like it's simple. The values are out of sync. There also could be some communication in relation to wealth. Okay, what is this wealth energy here, please? I feel some are actually feeling as though there is communication going on behind the scenes, and they're really not trusting this. They instinctually know that there's communication going on behind the scenes. I do feel they've been, especially for those that already broke up with this individual, it's been pretty straightforward. It's been, okay, we need to sever ties. We need to sever the contract. This is yours. This is mine. Some also went into this karmic contract based on finances. Something in the dream, like they're trying to have faith in it. But I think this month it could come crumbling down. I'm noticing, the collaboration of dreams, and the card that we had as a clarifier is the priest. And we can look to the guru energy of Jupiter. We can look to it of very, Saturn and Pisces and Neptune and Pisces. And I believe by mid-month, this can come crumbling down. They're trying to get the star card, but I feel there's a tower. And, they're like, okay, I either A, had the tower moment, and I'm hanging on by a thread. Am I going to actually be able to get this star? They do know they're going to make it through this. They do know they're going to be okay, but they're still looking at counterpart as the solution to this problem. They're not really seeing in the mix that there's something off here. It's a little bit like when we try doors, and I'm hearing the term sliding doors. You go to a door and you say to yourself, well, why isn't this opening for me? I'm really putting a lot of effort and work into it. This could be with a business. This could be with, your goals, to do with anything really. And you just feel you're hitting your head against the wall. Sometimes it's not no. Sometimes you're taking the wrong approach, but other times it is no. This person feels to be having an existential crisis. It's like, who the hell am I? What is this going on here? Who am I very separate to a connection? They're having revelations. I think they're having a revelation of foundation level, that they do have like a habit. It could have come from childhood. Some of them, if they did have children, they're sort of, in the mix of the karmic contract, looking at it going, who outside of being a parent am I? And, that's not a bad thing. That's healthy. Sometimes gaining some perspective to find your own personal identity, very separate to the things that we do and who we are, is necessary. But this really, from childhood, I feel it lingers. This person knows that their mind is their biggest demon. This person feels very vengeful this week. This person's got to be in their bonnet, and they don't know how they're going to do it, but they won't let something go. Yeah. I hear like a clock ticking, and it feels like they feel time's running out. So sad. What you want wants you. It's in reverse. Yeah. They're not listening to anyone. They could have been going to tarot readers. They might have been going to friends and family. They're really not listening to universe. And at this point in time, there appears to be a separation. There appears to be a crossing of this off the kind of journal, and they're really not accepting it. This is becoming a little bit bitter. Now, it's not to say we shouldn't hope in life, but I feel this person has had various kind of downloads, and they're trying to go back. Some could be leaving a counterpart to go back to a soulmate energy. Some are fretting over the fact that they're in this cycle and they feel that they could do better, but they're really fretful. I do feel be very cautious this week, especially with communication coming through. Come through and join our super chats. We do have a very separate one after the YouTube update where we have the joint connection. One day a month, we do have it hosted via the YouTube members, which is a private super chat if you need such. Take care and I'll see you next week.